The opinions expressed on this program are solely those of its hosts, guests, or callers, and do not necessarily represent the opinions of WTBR-FM, its management, other producers, or sponsors.
Good morning, Berkshire County. Welcome into Bird's Eye View here on WTBR, Pittsfield Community Radio, 89.7 WTBR Pittsfield, 88.1 WSBR Lee. I'm Mike Walsh. Jesse Kolodkin, the usual host, is on vacation this week. So I brought in a crack squad here of Howard Herman and Dylan Thompson to help me through our second straight week with no Jesse, because he was at the Knicks thing last week as well. And we should probably mention, if you haven't heard, the Knicks won the state championship. they want something bigger than state, I guess.
And today, and if we hurry, we can get downtown. We can get to Manhattan for the parade
today. Yes. That's gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy time given the World Cup stuff and all that. Yeah, like that's gonna be insane to try to schedule a parade in the midst of all this. We're wrapped on local sports. That's our usual beat here. We're wrapped on high schools, I should say. The spring season came to a close. Howard and I discussed it last week with Lennox softball, Drury baseball, both falling out in the Final Four. So we unfortunately had to miss state championship weekend out in. I believe the Longmeadow boys lacrosse team won, so that held it down for Western Mass. But we were not a part of the Worcester festivities.
And the unfortunate thing in the Worcester festivities is, if you saw any pictures, I think Polar Park was banged out, which is sold out for the Division I baseball game.
Oh, for the Birdie Vanilla show? Yeah.
and he went 2 innings.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was talking about that at a Steeplecats game with a couple of high school pitchers who were there. Said, how does a coach allow his pitcher to get a dead arm in a high school season? Because that was what was said in in publications, that he went 2 innings because he had a dead arm.
Dead arm.
And that it
or he just got hit.
Well, that could be too. But I was thinking that if he had a dead arm, then you have to give Drury coach Robert Jutras and Pittsfield coach Drew Pierce that much more respect. Because if nothing else, their pitchers never had dead arms at the end of the season.
Yeah, I suppose. Drury's two best pitchers didn't pitch.
No, but in general,
I don't know if your arm gets deader because you throw 100 miles an hour. That might be effective.
We can ask Dylan, because he does that.
Dylan, what was your peak? How hard did you throw? I'm not sure I ever got over like 70.
Probably 50 or 60.
Honest, yeah.
No, when I was
a lot of junk.
When I was that age, they didn't even do
speedometers had yet to be invented.
I mean, wiffle ball, I could spin it, but
what is that, like blitz ball thing I've seen now? Yeah. I miss wiffle ball. Sometimes we have one in the backyard, and I'll just work on a curve while the kids are playing on the water table.
I really need to get a team for the Field of Dreams in Lennox.
Oh yeah, okay, I like that. Get an Eagle team together.
Yeah,
who can swing a big stick at the Eagle offices. Anyway, I figured, so since Jesse will be back next week, I figure we'll do our kind of post-mortem year in review. He's gonna crank that out story-wise, so we could talk about it next week, kind of do some memories and all that stuff from the spring. So I figured, we have an interim week here. Might as well, I keep saying, Dylan posts like these movie things on the Eagle account. What's upcoming this summer, all that stuff. Valentine's Day, I remember one, but I figure we have kind of 3 generations, I guess. I'm solidly millennial. Are you Gen Z or Gen Z? And then Howard is, I don't know what generation you
that baby boomer group.
You're a boomer, okay. We could talk sports movies and just kind of, I gave these guys a homework assignment, sort of, and then I barely followed it myself, but as I did with homework often in my youth. Yeah. Your water bottle somewhere. Top 5 kind of sports movies. I ran into the issue where, like, is it a sports movie? It's the Christmas Die Hard situation, but for sports movies. And narrowing it down to 5, and then I got to 5. I told Dylan yesterday at the office, I was like, I got 5, but none of them are baseball, which feels wrong. And I'm like, are 6 to 10 all baseball? They might be. So, I just, give me what first popped in when I said, "What's your top 5 baseball movies? Give me one."
Well, my most recent baseball, of course, Bull Durham.
Okay.
But my feeling, and Dylan and I were talking about this in the office yesterday. My feeling on sports movies is the best sports movies are not, in fact, sports movies. They are about people and their reactions to each other, and sports just happens to be involved. For example, the baseball movie Major League, which is a really funny movie.
Yes.
But I don't consider it a great baseball movie because it was basically 2 hours of just throwing jokes at people.
Yes.
Whereas Bull Durham or For Love of the Game or 8 Men Out is more, it's more about the people who were involved, and it just so happened that they played baseball.
Right. Well, yeah, the greatest thing about sports is not knowing the ending. So when you put in a sports movie, I guess you don't always know the ending, but especially if it's kind of semi-biographical, you kind of know the ending of movies, so you have to angle it elsewhere. And I mean, yeah, you can't. There's no contest against live sports. So.
No, but I also think I don't ever consider even fictional biographies in the same category. Like I'm thinking
that was another issue. Yeah, like
Miracle.
Miracle,
because
I would consider Miracle a sports movie. Yeah,
but,
I don't know. Yeah,
but
it's tough.
But
like 42 or yeah.
Because my most favorite modern sports movie is Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
just a spectacular piece of film work, and there's a lot of baseball in it, but it's not about baseball. It's about Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
and and it's like that. And and you guys didn't, but I saw Miracle live, live on tape.
Not the film. The event.
The real event.
No, neither of us were around at that point.
And I was actually working at a radio station, and the game was played before it was televised. It was on delayed tape. In the United, even though the game was in the United States, but I think it played like 4:30 or something, and you should have seen me in the WBNR newsroom trying to avoid the teletype machine for 3 hours so I didn't know what happened. And damn it, if Ernie Anastas, the late anchorman at WABC TV, announces the score right before they cut to the Olympic coverage.
That's we go into information. I often am involved with my dad while he's in information-free zones if he's out doing something and recording said Celtics game or whatever. And I'm not allowed to text him angrily. Different things. But I think I said baseball.
Yeah, on the baseball front, Bull Durham is my favorite ever. But two others, Hardball with Keanu Reeves.
Hardball, excellent.
And then Fever
Not
Pitch.
Keanu's last spot here.
Yeah. Fever Pitch as well.
Fever Pitch, okay.
04 Red Sox, Jimmy Fallon.
Okay. Fever Pitch didn't enter into my discussion. The one that did, I have this romanticized notion of Cape Cod League baseball from the summer I spent out there working for one of the teams, and summer catch is like the thing, like Freddie Prinze Jr. I just didn't think the movie's not that great, which is disappointing because in my mind, that's the sports movie that should just be a great sports movie, is Summer on Cape Cod playing baseball.
Doesn't he look bad throwing in that movie?
Yeah, I think yeah. That's an issue. It's an issue on certain things.
That's a good conversation. Who are the best actor athletes?
Well, that's you mentioned one that I have coming up on my list in a completely different sport. Not that Keanu plays much baseball in Hardball, but again, not a movie that's about baseball. A movie that's about the lives of those little kids in that area.
If you're looking at modern guys, I think nobody plays baseball in the movies better than Kevin Costner did. Well, yes. And it's not just it wasn't just Bull Durham. His performance as Billy Chappell in For Love of the Game when he's a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Yeah. He looks like a Major League Baseball player.
Have you ever sat down at an empty page before writing a big story and said, "Clear the mechanism"?
No, I haven't.
No? Okay. No. I'm pretty sure I've done that. in the midst of movie covers. I had this thought the other day of what's the movie I quote most often in my life? And it is Samuel L. Jackson saying, "Hold on to your butts," I say it every time we turn in the car. When I turn around to them, like I'm driving in the car, I'm just like, "Hold your butts," and then we merge onto the highway or something. I say it every time. So it's got to be like 3 or 4 times a day. I'm saying that.
I thought your most quoted quote was, "Get these snakes off this plane."
Oh yes, up there as well. 100% up there as well. But that kind of came in to my thought too. What are favorite movies? Like, are they movies that I've watched again and again, or are they movies that, like in college we would just say lines to each other back and forth constantly? So yeah, skip aside, baseball aside. I don't even think I meant to say baseball there. What was the first one that snapped in like this has to be top 5? Dylan?
For me, He Got Game.
He Got Game was
my favorite basketball film ever. Mm-hmm. Ray Allen, grew up watching him on the Celtics. Just him and Denzel, and I rewatched it recently, and just Ray Allen's surprisingly really good in that film, as an actor. Mm-hmm. And it just, you got Rick Fox in there, and it's directed by Spike Lee. It's just the perfect basketball film for me.
Yeah, it blends so much of what we remember from those years of. I love the interstitials with Patino, I think John Thompson, a
ton of college coaches are in there.
Yeah, college coaches. They just pop up and it's just their face talking about this imaginary basketball player who is Ray Allen. And obviously, Spike Lee. That popped up too, where I'm like, wow, that's right. Spike Lee directed this as a sports movie,
and Spike's the best. And Spike is the best. The basketball movie the first basketball movie that comes to mind on that, other than Hoosiers, which is maybe the greatest sports film ever made, but is a movie called Blue Chips.
Oh, great!
A tremendous Nick Nolte. Penny Hardaway is tremendous in that film, by the way. Playing a player, and all the coaches are in it. Shaq's. He's not. Although it's probably his best performance.
For sure.
He's better in that than he was in any of those superhero movies he made, or Shazam.
Scary Movie 4.
Yeah, something like.
Shazam.
But Nolte channeled Bobby Knight so incredibly well, and it was such an interesting story that they made.
It's also a great segue from He Got Game, because what those two films share is they forecast NIL and all what college athletics is now, paying players and your image and likeness. Those two films portray that.
When Shuttlesworth gets into the car with I don't remember
the agent.
Yeah, no, not is it the agent?
Oh no, just the guy
driving him to school. I can't remember his name. He has a great name in the movie. But going through all the things that are going to try to pull him away from the game, and they certainly do. With Ray, have you seen a movie called? I think it's just called Harvard Man.
Yeah.
Yes. Ray Allen is also a basketball player.
So Adrian Grenier from Entourage.
Yes, with Vinny Chase as well.
One other basketball movie I have is Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball was it was in the mix.
That's
for
a classic for me.
Mm-hmm. I did wind up with Hoosiers on my list, and the one dilemma I came to where I was like, oh, now that I have Hoosiers, do I eliminate this other Gene Hackman coaching role? And I just couldn't. Replacements was so much fun when it came out. It's probably not a very highly rated movie, critically acclaimed, but
it's good.
It's Keanu playing quarterback.
Super long hair.
Yeah, super long hair. He's got this great, cool life going on, and then you get different people popping in. Jon Favreau, Orlando Pace, I think, and the RESPCT scene in the jail cell. Oh no, that's not that. That's I Will Survive. But yeah, that I had to go there because Hoosiers was already there. I was like, oh, I can probably skip this and get something else in, but I just couldn't. I love it too much. And if I wasn't going to include my is it a sports movie, is it not a sports movie, would have been probably Point Break was the toughest one, which is also Keanu, which is a surfing adjacent movie.
one of the greatest character names ever.
And skydiving adjacent movie. Yes. And I just read that Patrick Swayze did all his own skydiving in that.
Yeah. There's a lot of they play football on the beach. There's a lot of sports going on in it. Ultimately, I was like, it's probably more of just it's
a Gene Hackman sports movie that you guys probably never saw. Downhill Racer. Robert Redford plays an Olympic hopeful skier, and Gene Hackman plays his coach. And it's not a feel-good,
The man was a good
sports
coach,
movie.
yeah.
But it was made in the late '60s, back when movies were very cynical, and it was much like Robert Redford's later role in The Candidate, except he was a skier.
All right. We can get into these actual top fives in about a minute here. We're going to take a quick break.
Hi, this is Sean Sayre, Executive Director of PCTV. When Taconic High School was
One of the great
demolished,
character
we
names
could have
ever,
lost
Johnny
this
Utah.
radio station. Instead, PCTV stepped in, built a new studio and transmitter, and gave the station new life. And now it's time to pay that back. Support this station today. Go to WTBR-FM.com and click the donate button. You won't be sorry. Pittsfield Community Radio, underwriters are so important for keeping this station alive. Hi, this is Sean. Underwriters are so important for keeping this station alive. Hi, this is Sean Sayre, Executive Director of PCTV. I'd like to thank our local businesses for supporting Pittsfield Community Radio and for believing in the mission of the station. When you hear underwriting messages on the air, you know those companies support WTBR-FM. If you're listening now and your business would like to join in and support us, call me today at 445-4234 and get involved, or visit us at WTBRFM.com. It will make all the difference.
All right, welcome back in to Bird's Eye View. Again, Jesse Klodkin on vacation, so Mike Walsh sitting in the chair over here with the buttons and the knobs and the dials. Howard Herman, Dylan Thompson joining me for a chat about sports movies, because we have a bit of a lull here, and the Steeplecats are like 1 in 10, so there's not a ton to talk about. I had... so I requested like a top 5 and then went through it and was like, this is really hard, narrowing it down. So, I don't know. Dylan, give us your top 5. Go ahead. You gave
From
us
5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Go 5 to 1.
5 to 1? Okay.
We'll see how many overlaps we have here.
Love and Basketball.
Oh, okay.
He Got Game. F1. Rocky 3. Rocky 4.
Okay. F1, that's recent, right?
Came out last year.
Okay.
Brad Pitt.
Because I was trying to because I was like, oh my god, yeah, I have nothing from the last 20 years on my list or whatever. And okay, so F1, I have not seen it. That's Brad Pitt. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times now, and it came out last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not see that. Were you into like the Netflix thing?
No, I had never really been exposed to F1, but Brad
Okay.
Pitt's my favorite actor ever, so I went and saw it, and I just thought it was one of the best sports movies I've ever seen.
Okay. He's a driver?
Yeah, he plays a driver who like comes back to train a new guy, and then he's like a part of this team that's failing, and he helps them get back on top.
Okay. And that's based on true stuff, or is it like based on...
No, just...
okay. It's not like the Ford Ferrari kind of deal. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Which is, by the way, a tremendous film.
That was also okay.
Ford versus Ferrari.
also
Not
recent,
really a sports movie,
Yeah.
but it is kind of a sports movie.
Sports movie like the one about the Air Jordans.
Yeah. And yesterday, me and Howard were talking in the office, and he broke my heart because he said Rocky 4 is like an abomination. Broke my heart. That's my number 1.
Okay.
No, I don't go past. I don't. To me, I don't really go. 1 and 2 are in a class by themselves, and 3 is really good. And then to paraphrase the phrase, it jumps the shark in 4.
It jumps the giant Russian.
Yes, exactly.
We just disagree.
Who, by the way, Dolph Lundgren is in fact a rocket scientist.
Okay.
He's an MIT grad.
I'm
which I
not
didn't.
100% sure I knew that.
Rocky 4 also helped end the Cold War. So
This is very true. I don't agree that it's an abomination. Those are great fun movies. I didn't go past Rocky 1, and I did have Rocky 1 as, actually, I have it listed number 1. That was the first one that was just like, it has to be Rocky. And that's the one that, like, in college, embarrassingly so, but anytime we would strike out at the bars and clubs, my roommate Jimmy and I, who I was at his wedding about a month ago, Woman Week in Legs. That was our don't worry about it. you would have been worse off because women weaken legs. And just the whole story behind Rocky kind of elevates it to a different level of like, this is every screenwriter / actor or whatever. It's everybody's dream. It's like that. It's like Good Will Hunting, but like to another degree.
Because he also started,
he did it all.
And there's a movie coming out this year about that process called I Play Rocky.
Oh, wow.
It's coming out in November about the process of him writing the film and pushing to star in it himself.
Oh, and since we're plugging things, my friend Mike...
I feel like he's become an unreliable narrator at this point, though, and I'm nervous about that.
My friend Mike Sealski, who is a sports columnist for Philadelphia Inquirer, has a book out about the making of Rocky. Comes out in the fall. He actually didn't interview Stallone, but they did an email exchange, so Stallone's thoughts are included in the book.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's getting up there. I think he still plays like Tulsa King or something right now. But I'm not shaming the man. I'm a big fan of most of the Escape movies and the Expendables films as well. But like looking back on it, that's just like everything about it was perfect, and just the gritty realness of it all. I love to go back and revisit. I said the Replacements wound up being my number 5. I went Any Given Sunday for 4, which going back on and like Oliver freaking Stone directed this movie. It has so many huge names in it, that people that you kind of didn't realize were in it maybe at the time, or didn't realize who they were, and now you go back and revisit it with this wider wealth of film knowledge, and be like, oh my god, that's this guy, that's Dr. Cox, that's Jimmy Woods, that's
Jamie Foxx,
Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz looking
Dennis
amazing.
Quaid, Al Pacino.
And you watch
Pacino at like a perfect level of like not crazy over the top, but he has like that.
He's dialing it up a lot.
Yeah. But it got to a level like a few years later with Pacino where he's like playing a caricature of himself in certain points. But
when I saw them, going into the movie, I said, "How could Al Pacino be a football coach?" The least likely actor to be a football coach. And when the movie was over, you believed it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and it's obviously he is, one of the great actors of our time, but to cast him like that as against type as any casting has ever been in a sports movie, just ended up being genius. And you don't see that movie enough. That doesn't show up enough anymore. But it's real. It's not my favorite football movie. No. It's fair. It is up there. My favorite football movie is a film called North Dallas 40.
Okay.
Based on a book by Pete Gent, who had played tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's it's a Romana Clef story of the Cowboys. It's the North Dallas Bulls. It's got Nick Nolte is the star of it, and the quarterback in that movie, who is played like Dandy Don Meredith with the Cowboys, is played by what the country singer,
Chris Christopherson.
No.
Willie Nelson.
No, it will come to me. But he was great. It was his first movie. It was great. And that movie has arguably one of the greatest sport lines ever. There is an argument in a locker room. Mac Davis played the court. There's an argument between a defensive lineman on the North Dallas Bulls and one of the coaches. The lineman, played by the late John Matuzak, who ended up having somewhat of a showbiz career. And the line, and I'm paraphrasing it, is, when you say it's a game, when we call it a game, you call it a business. When we call it a business, you call it a game.
Oh, man. I went back. Dylan is a fellow Marist grad. So, yeah, do you remember, were you ever in, the Black Box Theater in Fontaine?
Mm-hmm.
So I took a junior or senior year, I took a intro to theater class, and we had to do a monologue, and I did the Game of Inches in class.
Did you dial it
Al
up?
Pacino. I tried. I did I rolled up a magazine and was whacking it and stuff, but definitely stands out in my mind.
Is there any footage of this?
What's that?
Is there any footage of this?
Probably not. It was a guy named Donald Anderson. I believe retired not long after I was there. He wrote a book. I had 3 Hoosiers, and 2 was the only other one I really wanted to talk about, and probably the second one that popped into my mind would be Dodgeball.
Good one.
Which I view as that's just perfect sports comedy. Stiller at peak Stiller. Vaughn, pretty much peak Vaughn, and
I mean, both of them are pumping out 3 comedies a year at that point.
Oh, it's perfect timing. Perfect timing, for me, when it came out, where I was in my high school life.
And with with one of the great character actors of all time, the late Rip Torn.
Rip Torn, Patches of Hula, another one that you just we would just toss quotes back and forth on most of them not super appropriate that I can say on the radio, but
if you can catch a wrench, you can catch a ball. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That would be obviously a big one, but No One Makes Me Bleed My Own Blood would be one that we said quite often to each other. Alan Tudyk is randomly in it, and Alan Tudyk is probably maybe my favorite actor, just kind of playing a minor role. Justin Long, all these tiny roles that. I think her name's Christine Doug, Ben Stiller's wife, who's Zoolander. So, Dodgeball wound up being my number 2, right behind Rocky. It's like Rocky Dodgeball, the classic battle of 1v2.
And nobody has mentioned Field of Dreams.
That's on my list to the right here. Yeah, He Got Game, Warrior, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, Major League. Remember the Titans was a tough omission. Just because I was not having Denzel on any movie list is a pain. But got beat up by Keanu.
But Dylan did because of He Got Game.
Yes, you do have him in there.
Moneyball we didn't mention.
Moneyball would be the more recent one. That's good sports movies that have come out in the last 10 to 15 years. Out Cold, I viewed as not really fully enough of a sports movie. It's a snowboarding comedy that I have a special place in my heart for. It's Zach Galifianakis' first kind of foray into things and into my life. And a movie called Mystery Alaska I really liked, which I don't think was super,
The Russell Crowe playing hockey. And Burt Reynolds.
Against
the late Burt Reynolds against the Rangers. It's actually not. It's actually a pretty entertaining movie.
Yeah.
There is a film I want to mention because we were talking about football movies and other things. It was made nearly 100 years ago, but it was as things have adjusted in sports, it was incredibly predictive. It's called Monkey Business. It's the Marx Brothers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Groucho is the president of a college, of Huxley College, and the climax of this is a big football game where they're paying guys to play football, and it's all it's Marx Brothers. If you are a Marx Brothers fan, you laugh for 90 minutes, but when you think about it, paying athletes to play college football is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So, it's funny to think that it, predicted what we're doing, in the NCAA these days.
One more I have to mention that was a tough omission. My guy, Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder.
Well, if you're going to mention Tom Cruise on that, all the right moves.
That one too.
As a Western Pennsylvanian by birth.
That's a great one too.
That is Western Pennsylvania high school football. And it was arguably Craig T. Nelson's second best coaching role in sports. His best, of course, was on the Situation Comedy Coach.
Yeah.
There you have it. All right. Well, that's kind of our sports movie conversation here. As we have about a minute left, what's out? What are you eyeballing right now, Dylan? What's coming?
Movie called The Invite. It's a comedy with Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen.
Yes. Okay.
That's one you take your partner to. It's about dinner party that spirals into unexpected places involving two couples. July 17th, The Odyssey. It's going to be probably the movie of the year. Christopher Nolan, Matt Damon. And then if you have young children, Toy Story 5 comes out this weekend. Bring your kids to that.
There we go. All right. Thanks for coming out. I'm going to read this real quick. The Pittsfield 4th of July is celebrating the generations this year. I think that means the Pittsfield 4th of July parade is celebrating the generations this year, and Pittsfield Community Television is bringing you live coverage. Join PCTV on July 4th beginning at 9:30 a.m. for live parade coverage from South Street in Pittsfield on PCTV Access Pittsfield Channel 1301, PCTV Select 1, and on the Pittsfield Community Television Facebook page. Live coverage of the 4th of July parade is supported by Greylock Federal Credit Union.
And if you're out there early, you might see Mike Walsh run.
Big race coming up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bird's Eye View. We will see you down the road.